Another vinyl find from my trip to Seattle I had over a month ago. Had an interesting couple days where I picked up some really nice Northwest titles, but the real finds were some grails I picked up from people's personal residences. A VC friend took me to his Psych honey hole while I was in Seattle. He's mentioned it to me a few times, and I was very anxious to get up there. Before we got there, he was telling me about the previous pickups he's found there, and he's already grabbed them. So basically, he goes there and he's buying doubles. Turns out I was more interested in his doubles than what I was to find at the honey hole. So I kept it cool at the first place and only bought a few cheaper OGs and some reissues, so I had some money left over for my friend's doubles. These are the records from the first place, the honey hole. Procession on self-titled on Smash Records. It's psychedelic rock, more pop psych than psych. Cool cover. Originally, they're from Australia. Mick Rogers' bass and vocals would go on to be in Manfred Mann's Earth Band. Track 1 on side 2, Every American Citizen, reminds me of the Kinks. Side 1 label. Side 2 label. Tudor Lodge, self-titled. This is a very cool Italian reissue, I think from 2000. The original came out in 1971 on Vertigo in the UK. Super rare OG. It didn't sell well, but has grown in popularity over time in the collector's circle. It's folk rock, progressive, folk psych. It's too folky for me. At least I wasn't in the mood for this much folk. Complicated cover. Side 1 label. Side 2 label.
The sound of her footsteps disappear into the sunset, shrouded in
The Mandrake Memorial. The Mandrake Memorial. This is the album Medium from 1969 on Poppy. This is psychedelic rock that you will find in the Acid Archives book. They're from Philadelphia. The band is known for their experimentalist approach to psychedelic music, using electronic sounds and complex compositions. These guys opened for The Doors, Big Brother and the Holding Company, Frank Zappa and the Mothers of Invention, Moby Grape, and Strawberry Alarm Clock, all in Philadelphia. They also played on the same bill as Pink Floyd in 1968 at the Electric Factory in Philadelphia. This is their second album. This third album is the one that you want. Side 1. Side 2. The Peppermint Trolley Company, self-titled, from 1968. This is on the Acta label. This is Sunshine Pop, Psych Pop. They actually performed the original theme song for the Brady Bunch TV show in 1969, but their vocals were replaced by the kids singing them, so you only hear their music. Here's a clip with the band singing the song.
Here's the story of a lovely lady who was free of 3 very lovely girls. All of them had hair of gold, like their mother, the youngest last one in curl.
They were also in an episode of Beverly Hillbillies and Mannix in 1968.
Built on laughter, I have found you crying, caught you in tears, trust in me, and from hereafter you'll be safe from sorrow, shadows, and fears.
It seems they were more popular in the Hollywood producers circuit than they were with the general public. Side one label. Side two label. The new Tweedy Brothers, self-titled. This is a 1968 German reissue from Shattuck Music. This is Northwest Psychedelic Rock. You'll find these guys in the Acid Archives. The band was based in Portland, Oregon. Their stated influences were, like most bands at the time, I can't even see this cover, Dylan, Beatles, Stones, Byrds. They moved to San Francisco around 1968, and they hung out and played with the Warlocks, who would later change their name to the Grateful Dead. In an interview with Jerry Garcia, he mentioned them. They would open for the Grateful Dead and Big Brother, Blue Cheer, and them. The band was part of the early San Francisco hippie sound, but they didn't really make a mark. They were, I guess, more outsiders. They felt they were like country bumpkins. They moved back to Portland, and then they recorded these songs and put out these albums. This album is best known for its hexagonal cover, and it's a prize collector's item in the psychedelic community. I challenge you to find this an OG where the covers aren't bent. The OG is super fragile. This reissue is awkward to store, and the corners are already bending. Gerson did a reissue about 8 years ago in a square cover with a book and some other things. So I want to pick that up. It looks really nice. I have a few handbills from shows that the new Tweedy Brothers played in Portland. I think one is opening up for Blue Cheer, and then the Portland Trips Festival, and I forgot what the other one is. The new Tweedy Brothers. It says Tweedy Bros, but I guess new Tweedy Brothers. And I think they broke up soon after this album came out in '68. After going through the Honey Hole Guys stuff, I think I went A to H. Didn't have a lot of time there. We went back to my friend's house, and he pulled out the doubles that he had that he already pulled from that house. These are the records I've been looking for years. 4 or 5 of these records are true Holy Grails. People throw that word around a lot, but these are true Holy Grails. I love these albums. He played a bit of each one, which was really cool because it was nice playing music with someone who was really into it. My wife, when we listen to music, she doesn't really care about these genres. The first album, and I've been looking for this for a while, is an OG Morgen. This is 1969 on Probe Records. This is psychedelic rock. It is definitely mentioned in the Acid Archives book. This is an album that every psych collector either has it or it is on top of their want list. Morgen was led by Steve Morgen. They were from New York, and they're known for their heavy fuzz-driven sound and psych influences. They kind of mixed hard rock with experimental and psychedelic elements. They were pretty popular back in the day, and a bunch of these are out there, but they command a high price. The poster, a lot of the posters in really good condition. The poster is pretty much like a lyric sheet. There's the label, side 1. The label, side 2. This has been reissued a few times, most recently on Gerson. I love the promos Gerson does when they release these new reissues. And this other one was 2021, Now and Again Records. These reissues are easy to come by. If you can't get the OG, definitely pick up these reissues. This is great psych music all the way around.
I say welcome to the void.
I've been looking for this one for a while. This is Gandalf, again from 1969 on Capitol Records. This is psych rock that you are for sure going to find in the Acid Archives. These guys were also based in New York. They were a band called the Ragouts, I think that's how you pronounce it, before changing their name to Gandalf once they got signed to Capitol. I think Capitol made them change their name. The album was recorded in 1966, but it didn't get released until 1969. When it did get released, most of the records had the wrong album inside, so it had to be recalled, ruining their sales and dooming the band. To me, this is like America's Odyssey and Oracle. Beautiful, lush melodies. Most of the songs are covers, but great covers. Side 1. Side 2. This particular copy, the guy who owned it wrote, he played it one time. The condition is A-, sealed. They paid $1.50 for it. He bought it in August 28, 1982 at Stahl's Camera, and the collectible value from 1982 is $3 fair to $12 mint. Now that's a collector that I can appreciate. Gandalf's only record, 1969. They actually recently re-released this by Jackpot Records. They also made a promo for this record.
She's saying we're through.
I bought this one at Amoeba. This is the RSD issue, and they've recently re-released again a non-RSD, so it's really easy to get a copy. It sounds really good. Pick it up. Gandalf.
To very few.
The Sonics. Here are the Sonics. This is 1965 mono on Etiquette Records. This is garage rock. The Sonics are the pioneers of the garage rock genre. They were named after the supersonic jets being built in Boeing in the 60s. The former NBA Seattle basketball team, Seattle Supersonics, were also named after those same jets. This band were from Tacoma, Washington, a few cities from where I grew up in Sumner, Washington. I've heard these guys' music ever since I was a kid. They were on AM radio all the time. They were signed to Etiquette Records, which were partly owned by members of Seattle's Whalers. This is the mono red version, red label. That indicates that is a first pressing mono from 1965. I've had the stereo for many years, but it was really hard to find a clean mono. The Witch, Psycho, and Strychnine are the top tracks on this album. There's a documentary about the band coming out this week, actually. And I'm sure it'll be out soon. Definitely go see it and check it out. The Sonics' first album.
Or she'll put you down, 'cause she's an evil chick. Say she's the witch.
Since I was already there and I saw this 66 reissue on the purple label mono, I had to pick it up. I knew if I didn't, then this would be the top of my want list. So I just had to pick it up. So now I'm good. On the purple label, that is how you can tell the reissue from the original release. And also they moved the catalog number down here instead of the top of the other ones. For the Sonics, you want these first three albums. Here are the Sonics, Sonic Boom, and Introducing the Sonics. For these OGs, you want the mono versions. Stereos are hard to come by, so grab them, but the mono is the one that you want. These were all reissued on Etiquette and Norton many times, so it's easy to get. I still need a stereo copy of Sonic Boom. So if you have a stereo copy, hit me up. This last record is Pugsley Munion. I think that's how you say it. Just Like You, 1970 on J&S Records. This is hard rock, blues. You'll definitely find it in the Acid Archives book. They're a power trio known for their heavy, cream-like sound. I wouldn't say there's really any psych here. That's mainly hard rock. I've only heard about these guys because of Noble Records talked about it a few years ago when he made a video and mentioned it.
Next one is Pugsley Munion, 1970. These kids were fresh out of high school, and they were playing some hot and heavy rock and roll, really raw, gritty, blues rock type stuff.
I guess they did some demos and they didn't finish them, but the label was in a hurry to put these songs out, so they put them out and even did a cover without the band knowing. The band tried to stop it, but were unsuccessful. Sales weren't great. Looks like it was reissued in 2013 in Spain. Side 1 label. Side 2 label. These were my finds for my trip to Seattle. So glad I found the Morgen and Gandalf OGs. Now I need new grails to look for. I guess I'm thinking maybe an OG new Tweedy Brothers with unbent corners or no bend on the corners and a UK mono Odyssey and Oracle. Can you help me out? Like and subscribe, and I'll do another video soon.
'Cause she's the witch.